Hey, watch fans, Brad from Brent Miller Jewelers here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And every once in a while, I like to change it up and give you something out of left field. And today, I did that with the Shinola Mechanic. This is a newly released Shinola. We actually just got it in today. I grabbed it quick to do a quick review for you. This is the first Shinola with a manual wind movement. So we have a SW210-1 hand wind movement. 42 hours of power reserve on this, and I think it looks good. I was actually pleasantly surprised when I saw this. I've seen a few of these. There's three models. This is the only one we got in. They have a white dial, a green dial, and this black dial. And the inspiration for this watch is apparently the sign painters in Detroit who called themselves the Mechanics because of how precisely they painted their signs. And so I do think the numerals on it, I like the pop of color. I mean, listen, was this something I would wear every day? Probably not, but I do think it's a really neat looking watch as a complement to a watch collection. I like the manual wind movement. And so without further ado, the dimensions on this measured just above the crown, diagonally across, so a little above the 3 to below the 9 at 39.1. So we have a 39 millimeter, almost kind of like a cushion case shape. I think it wears quite well. So 39 millimeters. We have 13 millimeters thick, however, if you look, quite a bit of that comes out of that boxed sapphire crystal. 46.6 millimeters lug tip to lug tip, 20 millimeter lug width, tapering to 18, and this fantastic ridged black leather strap that I think complements the watch well. I like the look of it. It's quite comfortable. Again, we talked about the manual wind movement already. And we have a signed non-screw down crown, 50 meters of water resistance, and the watch weighed in at 75.3 grams. Retails for $1,450. I like the color of this. Again, there's a white dial on a brown strap and then a green dial on a green strap. I think this one's probably my favorite out of the three that I've seen photos of. I like that second hand. Additionally, the dial, and it's going to be hard for me to really probably video in this, the dial itself is domed. And so I looked at it as soon as it came out of the box and thought it looked that way. But the dial is domed. So we just have a unique piece. It's something different. We do have the quick release straps here, which I do like as well for quick strap changes if you do want to do that. And while I'm at it, I don't usually show the packaging of watches, but I was really kind of impressed with the packaging. So when it first came, I'm going to pull this up. The box with the Mechanic, and then this metal plate. It was heavy, quite heavy actually, and then this slid out from underneath that, wanting it, how to set it, and then your warranty info, and then actually the watch itself. So I thought the packaging, again, I don't usually show packaging. I usually try to keep it about the watches, but I was pretty impressed with the packaging on this. I just wanted to share. Let me show you a quick wrist shot of this. Again, 39 millimeter case. I know this is not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but I do like to show some stuff that's a little bit different every now and then. And again, I just liked the look of it overall, aesthetically. Could probably use a little bit more AR, getting some reflections on that crystal, but again, good size, like the color, something different. Always happy to welcome additional automatic or manual wind movements. So, as always, greatly appreciate you viewing. Let me know what you think of this watch, or if there's any other watches off the beaten path that you're a huge fan of. Put those in the comments as well. I always like to learn more or find some smaller brands that we may not carry and learn more about them as well. So thanks for viewing. If there's anything I can do for you, email me, brad@brentlmiller.com, and we'll see you in the next video.